How's it, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Gridiron Bangahz with me, Brayden, and my two pals over here. Say hello to the YouTube gang.
Hey, how's it?
How's it?
Oh, as you guys already know, we're back with another week of football, week 11. Recording a little later this time, just due to some schedule conflicts. Probably be our new day. Recording is going to be Thursday after the Thursday night football, so we can discuss it a little bit here. But I'll throw out my reaction. Ravens taking down the Bengals 34-20. Huge win for the Ravens. We all see how tight it is in the AFC North right now with the race going on. Keeping that first place and still even kind of fighting for that number one in the conference with the Chiefs. So it was a great win for them. I think the biggest kind of taking point from this game was just the injuries that happened on both sides. We saw Mark Andrews go down early. He looked like he was going to have a big day. We're the number one target for Lamar in that first quarter, and then seems like he's going to be out for the year. So that tough loss for them. I know I'm a fan. I'm pretty sure Jake is too. Of Isaiah Likely was a good tight end. I think he's third year, right? I
Yeah,
think
second and third. I
third
think I think
year.
you're right. Third.
Yeah. Was showing good signs last year. Whenever Mark Andrews went down, I mean, Baltimore loves using their tight ends, so definitely go grab them on the waiver if you're dying at tight ends, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's the first big injury, and the next one was Joe Burrow. I think it was a finger. I heard he wasn't gripping the ball.
Either like a hand. I don't know if it was a wrist
I
or a
heard it was
finger. Yeah,
wrist.
yeah.
Wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a wrist, and then just tried to throw a ball, shook his head, and then pretty much went in the locker room, got X-rays. Not a great injury. I mean, bad timing, losing Joe Burrow during a division game when the game was still close. I don't think much news came out on how severe it is. I'm assuming it's not going to be too bad. I think at most he misses maybe one, at most two games. Probably even chance he might be back next week, in my
Knowing him,
opinion.
yeah. Knowing him,
Yeah.
the way he's gonna push himself though. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean he definitely needs to. The Bengals are at 5-5. They've fallen out of playoff, or they fallen out of wild card last week, and another loss this week isn't helping their case. And we're getting late in the season now, so Joe Burrow's probably gonna have to kind of suck it up and go out there play through injuries. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to throw into this game?
I mean, just sucks that Joe Burrow's getting hurt again. Really thought your guys' division, this race to the I guess leader or to win the division, that was gonna heat up. And then now we got Deshaun Watson out for the year, and then Joe Burrow. We'll see how severe it is, but it's a shame that it's probably just. I mean, I know you're happy about it, but it looks like it's going to be just between the Ravens and Steelers. So,
Yeah, it's just tough. Hopefully it's like you said, it's not too bad and just one or two games, but yeah, if their playoff hopes are will be saved, it'll be if he plays, so you might have to just tough it out. I mean, obviously it sucks it's on the throwing hand. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure he's gonna tough it out, but we'll just have to see how much it affects him. Because
Yeah,
obviously he's been
I
struggling with the last injury in the first few weeks. I don't know. It kind of looked like he had maybe gotten over that one, just to end up getting hurt again. So just can't catch a break.
yeah.
yeah, truly unfortunate. Yeah, I felt like this is finally we got to see him healthy, and this Bengals offense back to what they were, and just another injury setback might cause them to miss the playoffs. I'm hoping, for me. I know most NFL fans want to see the Bengals though, but yeah. Also, since we're doing this a little later. We did all have the Bengals in the prediction race this week, so we all took the L on that one.
LSU.
Tough week. Tough start. Yeah. With that, we're gonna move on to our actual predictions now. For this week 11 games, starting off with not the best game, but great to see another CJ Stroud performance, hopefully, is the Cardinals at the Texans. Throw this one to Bryson. I think we're all unanimous on this one.
Yeah. I think it's not so much that the Cardinals are looking that bad. I mean, obviously they just came off of a big win. Kyler Murray's back, but I still think Cardinals have a lot to figure out. Obviously, it was a pretty favorable matchup with Falcons, so definitely was a very easy game for Kyler Murray to be coming back to. Um, I definitely don't think the Texans' defense is that much better, but they did have some big plays last week, so we'll see if they can replicate it again this one. But yeah, I think Stroud's just on a tear right now, and the Cardinals' defense is really no better than the Texans' defense. So I think the Texans right now are a little more sound offensively. Cardinals still got, they did have a good game, but I still think they're kind of in a feeling out period right now with Kyler Murray because I mean he didn't really have any passing touchdowns last week, so we'll see. I think he'll get he'll get some in the touchdown column, but yeah, Stroud's just on a roll right now, and they're fighting for that playoff spot. So this is kind of a basically every game for the rest of the year for the Texans is crucial wins. They're counting the wins because they're going to take some losses. So this is one of those games they can't afford to lose.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like every fan is cheering for the Texans to win this game, unless you're a Jaguars fan.
Yeah, unless you're
Yeah.
Even Cardinals are cheering for the Texans, but
yeah.
yeah,
No, the
good to see
Texans are
Kyler
good
back.
football right now.
Yeah, Texans are real good football. Definitely the dark of the NFL, the new one coming up, so that should be good. Move on to the next one, divisional thing in that AFC South. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Throw this one to you, Jake, since we know you love your Doug Peterson.
Yeah, Jags are coming off obviously a blowout loss. They just got punched in the face and they didn't have any answers back. So this should be a rebound game. I know normally the Titans will play them tough, and I think we'll still be seeing that, especially with Derrick Henry. This is normally the team he'll run on. So expect some success from the Titans, but I think overall the Jags will, like I said, bounce back. Um, I'm hoping they get their offense kind of back on track. Earlier in the year, we did mention that Doug Peterson's not calling plays, so that's kind of why it's looking different. Why they haven't been producing the same amount of points, or just the same numbers like before. So really hoping, and I'm pretty confident that they'll turn things around. I'm hoping it's this week, but like I said, they are a December team, so if they don't turn around here, I'm still confident they'll turn around sometime soon.
It should be a good one. Jackson was favored by 7 in this game, but divisional games can always get weird.
Yeah,
Definitely hope to see a better performance by the Jaguars than what they did last week against the Niners, because that was unwatchable.
yeah, we were all rooting for the Jags. Maybe not you, but me and Bryson were.
I think the Jags are going to win, but I'm definitely not rooting for them. But yeah, we'll wrap up that game. We'll move on to the next one, where it is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. I'll take this one. I think we all can almost agree we like what the Raiders have been doing since the firing of Josh McDaniels. You can kind of see that this team has a new life. I mean, they're celebrating wins like it's the Super Bowl, smoking cigars in the locker room. It just seems like a lot better atmosphere, at least the team that you want to play for. They all look like they're fighting harder, but just playing against Miami, we know what Miami's been this year. They've been kind of up and down against those like upper echelon teams, but the Raiders aren't that. Miami needs to kind of start winning games because AFC East is kind of wide open for them right now. Just keep building that lead. We saw what the Bills did last week, and I believe the Jets even lost last week. I can't remember.
none of the AFC teams actually won this month yet.
Yes.
AFC East team, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dolphins need this win, and I like what the Raiders are doing, but I just don't think it stacks up to what the Dolphins have on offense and defense. I think they're still trying to figure out how to be a complete team on defense. Their offense is pretty much consistent, a few games off, but I would still say one of the top offenses in the league. So a little too much for the Raiders to handle. Yeah. Um, Move on to the next one. Moving to the NFC, we got the Cowboys taking on the Panthers in Carolina. Throw this one to you, Bryson.
Yeah, we all got the Cowboys on this one. Kind of a no-brainer. Panthers are, you know, still a struggling team right now. Still figuring things out. Still, I mean, haven't really found the consistency that they've been looking for this year. Um, really, just kind of get a feel for Bryce Young and just kind of let him develop. And obviously, kind of not the best start, but we've seen some first overall draft picks have some rough starts and then turn it around the next season. So right now they're kind of just biding their time, not really, I don't think they've given up, but no playoff hopes. And right now it's just letting Young get the, game time experience and just help him learn the game and develop. And the Cowboys are, they look decent right now. Dak looks good. CeeDee Lamb has just been tearing it up lately. His last few games, record-breaking stuff going off, and this Panthers defense is probably gonna, he's probably gonna eat, and I think Cowboys defense is probably gonna get a few turnovers, could even potentially score on the defensive side. So uh, I think it won't be a massive blowout, but um, I can't see it being very close. Just a elite defense versus a bottom tier offense. So not much to say.
Yeah, definitely not one of the more exciting games on this week's slate. Kind of the same thing for this next game, another NFC game that could be a slaughter. We got the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Um, Throw this one over to you, Jake.
Not much needs to be said about this. Whether it's Justin Fields or what is that? I'm forgetting his name already.
Badgett.
Badgett?
Baggett.
Yeah, no matter who's. Yeah, Baggett. Yeah, doesn't
Baggett's
matter
trash.
who's our quarterback. Damn, you gotta go there.
I'm just kidding. He's not
Hey.
that bad.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's our quarterback. Honestly, Lions are on the roll. They're getting that running game figured out, and actually just I'd say getting that run game on track at the right time, end of the year. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. So I think that alone is enough to really get past the Bears. But Jared Goff, Amon Ra, everybody, honestly, whole team. You can even go to the defense side of the ball. They're all just playing good football. So really, that's probably going to be another blowout.
Lions look good, and I don't know what it is about the Bears. They aren't good this year, and they make Bryson very angry for some reason. It is what it is. We'll move on to another NFC kind of showdown. This one, a divisional matchup. Our first game that we do not have a consensus on is going to be the New York Giants versus the Washington Commanders in Washington. I'll throw it to the odd man out to start it. Go ahead, Bryson.
Yeah, that'll
Floor is
be me.
yours.
I'm gonna be taking the Giants in this one. Uh, it's not so much that I like them more than the Commanders, or I don't like the Commanders. Yeah, they didn't really have a good game last week. Obviously, tough matchup, but they put up some points on the board, and uh, I just feel like this is the type of game that they could win. Commanders. I know Sam Howell has been playing pretty great. I think right now he's right up there with like Stroud in terms of the passing.
He's leading.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he leads the league.
yeah, he's been doing pretty well. But I don't know. I'm just kind of in my head. I feel like this is a game that I just feel like they'll just drop a dud on for some reason. So not so much that I think the Giants are by any means like a good team or that they're going to outplay the Commanders. I just feel like the Commanders are going to lose to themselves and just somehow throw a dud to the Giants in this one. I'm not sure. I think Barkley's questionable, so um, if he plays, I feel like he could have a good day, especially since the that defensive line doesn't look as good anymore.
Yeah, should be a weird game. I mean, it is a divisional matchup, so we've seen what those tend to be like. They kind of get weird, especially the NFC East. Though you guys really have some weird divisional games, especially when the Commanders are involved. So anything can happen, but I got the Commanders in this one. I've kind of said it all season. I like what Eric Bieniemy's been doing with this offense. It does look a whole lot different than pretty much what we've seen from the Commanders' offense in recent years, probably since I can remember, since maybe Kirk Cousins was there. This offense is finally looking like they can put points on the board and kind of play with any team. So they've been looking good. And on defense, I gotta say I'm kind of surprised and that even though they trade away Chase Young and Montez Sweat,
Montez Sweat.
yeah, I still think their defense looks pretty solid. Not, I mean, not best in the league, but they still look like they're a competent defense. Not the greatest game against the Seahawks last week. They dropped 29 on them, but I mean, that's a pretty solid offense with a lot of key players on offense, so I won't take too much away from them. But yeah, I got the Commanders. I think they're just the better team in this matchup.
All I gotta say is, if they lose, Commanders lose, fire Ron Rivera on the spot. I'm sorry, this is Tommy DeVito.
Hey man,
I
put some
wish.
respect on the Vito name.
Oh, I love DeVito. It's not this one.
Gotta respect the man who plays in the NFL and comes home to his mom's cooking. Yeah, should be a good, might be a good game. I can't say will be a good game. Will be interesting, most likely. But yep, that will be it for that one. Continue on in the NFC. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the 49ers. I'll take this one. We're all unanimous for this one. We all got the Niners. Kind of just saw what they did last week to the Jaguars. Yes, the Jaguars haven't looked the best on offense in the recent weeks, but I mean, give credit to the command and the Niners defense. Chase Young and Nick Bosa just look dominant right now as pass rushers. Look like they're going to be a very kind of scary duo to have for offenses to handle, and I just can't see the Bucks handling that. Baker Mayfield, I kind of seen from previous experience of the play best with a great pass rush in his face. It's usually the thing that kind of throws him off. Bucks O line's pretty good, but I don't think good enough to stop that defense. And on the flip side of it, I really like Bucks defense, but I think their strong suit is the run game, which matches up well against the Niners. But I still think the Niners have way too much talent on that offense for them to get too many stops in there. And yeah, I mean, Niners look like the best, one of the best teams in the NFC right now. So I see them continuing it. Uh, yeah. Um, Move on to the next one. We have the LA Chargers versus the Green Bay Packers. Throw this one to you, Bryson.
Yeah, pretty sure we consensus on this one. Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. As not great as the Chargers have been, I won't. I don't want to say. I don't want to use the word bad because I think they've been playing okay. They just have been taking some tough close game losses. Um, so as not great as they have been, I still think that they're the much better team, and the Packers Jordan Love hasn't been horrible, but offensively they just tend to struggle against kind of bigger name teams. And I don't know, Jordan Love is he's really inconsistent, hit or miss. Sometimes he plays out of his mind and kind of leads some impressive drives, and then sometimes it's just questionable throws, questionable decisions, and I think the Chargers' woes on defense are probably nothing to worry about this game because I think offensively they're just going to put up points, even if they do give points up to the Packers. I still think they'd outscore them. So I think Chargers. We know what they can do on offense, the talent they have. Uh, I think they just overpower the Packers, even if it is a close matchup and kind of a shootout. I think they win this one. If not, you would think that they should be able to blow this. Well, not blow, but have a sizable lead over this type of team. Um, but yeah, not much, not rich. Really going for the Packers. Kind of really only win against teams that are struggling. And right now, yeah, Chargers are kind of struggling, but there's still a good team overall. Just have been kind of getting unlucky in some of their shootout games.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a battle of two teams trying to stay relevant in their conference. But it should be a good one, I think, especially being in Lambeau. Yeah, I think that wraps up pretty much all our games that we have a unanimous vote on, so